Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining us. My name is Daryan Jones. I'm the Caregiver Education and Digital Specialist at Care Partners. We're back today with another wonderful Hot Topic Live segment. Stephanie Salcedo is joining us again from Secure Your Legacy. She'll be talking about Medicare and answering all of your Medicare questions. Real quick, I just want to let you guys know that Care Partners has suspended all of our in-person programming until at least May 31st. You can get the latest information on our website at carepartnerstexas.org. We have a monitoring the coronavirus page that has all of the information and additional resources for you guys. As we are continuing to do our teleconference, and now we're switching over to Zoom, Common Ground support group. So if you guys are a caregiver who's feeling isolated or alone or just needs someone to talk to, we're offering these support group offerings twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So there's one happening actually right now at 2 p.m., Thursdays at 2 p.m. And you can go to our website under the Common Ground page for all of that information about how to join. And with that, I'm going to introduce our guest today. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me today.
I guess we'll just, can you tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, and what we're going to be talking about today?
Yes, I am Stephanie Salcedo with Secure Your Legacy, and today we're going to be covering people that are turning 65 or getting laid off, retiring from their company, coming off of group company benefits. So I'm going to discuss the importance of having certain documentation in place so families or people that are turning 65 don't get penalized for not enrolling at the right time into Medicare.
And it's really, really important to know what to do in this situation. So we're really thankful that you're here to help us kind of navigate this world. I want to say hello to everyone and thank you guys so much for joining us again. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, be sure to just comment below. Reach out. We'd love to hear from you guys. With that, I'm going to let you take it away, Stephanie.
Great. Thank you. And thank you so much for everyone watching today. First of all, most importantly, I am not endorsed by the Social Security Administration Office or the Medicare federal government. I am an independent insurance broker, and as an agent or a broker, I'm here to assist you on all your needs when it comes to planning for your Medicare coverage. I know right now a lot of people are probably very stressed on how they're going to enroll into Medicare. Maybe some of you are turning 65 pretty soon, or you're coming off of your company benefits. And it's a very, very stressful time right now for a lot of folks in the United States during this COVID-19 pandemic we're going through. But I'm going to try to make it as easy as possible for y'all so you can try to get all of your affairs in order as far as documentation. If you are turning 65 in the next 3 months, I would suggest for you to go ahead and start the process. If you're collecting Social Security, your Medicare is going to automatically start. So you don't have to really worry about doing anything. You'll get a Welcome to Medicare kit in the mail with your Medicare card. And what I would just suggest is for you to try to get with an insurance broker or insurance agent, or try to get yourself applied onto a health insurance plan. The plans that you that are in the back of the book of the Medicare book that's sent to you every year, or the one that you might have just received, those benefits in the back of the book are Advantage plans. So just FYI, very important for y'all to know that. Some people may be looking for a supplemental plan. So just FYI, they're not supplemental insurance plans, they're Advantage plans. And you're probably getting a ton of junk mail and phone calls and are very confused on which way to go. And it can get quite confusing. A lot of folks don't know the difference between Part A, Part B, C, or D. But the only best advice that I can share with each and every one of you is make sure you just ask, is this supplement or is this Advantage? And there is a difference. And of course, we'll have to cover that topic on another segment. But if you are past 65 years of age, and let's just say hypothetically, you're 68, okay? And you've decided, you know what, I am going to go ahead and retire. I don't think I want to continue to work. Or you've been laid off and you're 68 years old and you're like, okay, what do I do now? How do I get Medicare started? This is going to be the process. You're going to need to grab a pen and paper for me, please, because there's going to be 2 documents that you are going to need that are imperative, that you must fill out correctly and send into the Social Security office. Number 1, Social Security, their offices are closed, as we all know, but their employees are working from home, remotely from home. What I've been advising a lot of folks is to call the Social Security Administration office, and the number is the 1-800-772-1213. Call Social Security. Chances are you're probably going to be on hold for about an hour, so just prepare. I would recommend to put your phone on speaker while you're cooking dinner and just kind of waiting for a representative to come on the phone. But what's happened to a few people that have called Social Security, for some odd reason, they've gotten disconnected after waiting about an hour and a half for a representative to come on the phone. So it's important for you to have a fax number as well, because I'm going to kind of share with you how you're going to do this. The fax number is going to be 1-833-914-2016. Okay. So when you call Social Security, if you're lucky enough to get someone on the phone and they schedule you, or you're on an automated system and they schedule you an appointment and tell you, okay, we're going to call you back at such and such time, such and such day, make sure you write that down. Put it on your schedule. Don't forget. This is going to be the only time that Social Security is going to call you, and that's because you've reached out to them for an appointment to talk to you over the phone. Any other time, I'll advise you, don't ever give out your Medicare card number, Social Security number. As we all know, there's a lot of scammers out there, especially when they're trying to get your Medicare information to be able to file fraudulent claims. So just be real careful and try not to give anyone your information unless you're dealing directly with your, number one, your insurance agent or broker, number two, your doctor's office, or if you're at the Social Security office, obviously. Now, there's going to be two documents that you're going to need. Number one, the very most important, and you can actually go on the internet and you can plug it in. You're going to plug in form CMS. It's going to be C for cat, M for, or C for center, M for Medicare, S for services, CMS dash L for Larry 564. That's the request for employment information. Request for employment information. This is extremely important that you do the following steps when you're enrolling into Medicare and you're past 65. This special enrollment information sheet, what that's going to do is you're going to get your HR department to fill it out. Then you're going to sign it. They're going to sign it. You're going to send it into Social Security along with your application for enrollment into Part B of Medicare. Okay. It's extremely important that you get the special enrollment form, the request for employment information. You get this filled out by HR, because if you do not do it exactly the way I'm sharing this with you, you will get penalized. There are penalty fees associated with Medicare Part B, and there are penalty fees with Medicare Part D. Part D is prescription, and Part B is the medical coverage. So in order for you to avoid those penalty fees, you need to get a request of employment information form filled out. At the top, if you can see it in red, it says special enrollment period. Write this down, because this is a secret, a little tip that's going to make the process easier. That's just going to expedite it exactly the way it needs to be. Because here's what I will tell you. Unfortunately, a lot of the people that work at the Social Security office, they don't know much about Medicare other than to help you get signed up. And so I would not want for the information to not be properly entered, and then you're getting a penalty fee, and then it just becomes a big mess for you, and you're trying to figure out how to straighten this out, because these penalty fees are for a lifetime. And a lot of folks don't realize sometimes the process of how to do all of this, and they end up paying penalty fees. So you don't want to have to pay an additional $20, $30, $40, whatever it is per month for the rest of your life if you don't have to. Your Medicare Part B. So if you are turning 65 and you do not want to collect Social Security until full retirement, you can do it two ways. You can actually go on socialsecurity.gov/Medicare only and apply through the socialsecurity.gov website, socialsecurity.gov/Medicare only. And you'll be able to set up an account, a username, password, They're also going to ask you questions like, like when you're applying or when you're trying to pull a credit report. Did you own a home? Did you such and such year? Did you mortgage your home? Or did you sell, did you lease a vehicle? Did you live at this address? So just be very cautious with that so you don't mess up. Because then if you do and Social Security kind of thinks it's someone trying to tap into your Social Security account, then they're going to have you come into the office. But you can do it online, and Social Security will correspond with you by email. They'll send you an email with your Medicare number and kind of let you know that the process is already going through. Okay, so that they're working on your claim or your Medicare Part B, I should say. So you can do it online. If you're not comfortable doing it online, you can fill out this form, which it's going to be, you can Google this on your search engine, go to CMS-40, like 40, and B as in boy. CMS-40, B as in boy. You can print the application off. And what I'm going to suggest for y'all to do is once you print off the application and you fill it out, mail it to your local Social Security office. Make sure that you get a copy, make a copy for your records, make a copy of when you sent it, because it could get lost through the shuffle. So it's happened before, and this is on either one, request for employment information or applying for Medicare Part B. But if you're coming off of company benefits and you're 68 years old or you're trying to apply for Medicare, you're going to need both. Okay, you'll need the application for Part B and you'll need the request for employment information. If you have worked at several different companies and you were past 65, so let's say you worked at one company for between, your 50s to your 66, 67, then you started to work at another company, you'll need to get a form from each employer. Okay, Medicare will actually approve, and they consider a large firm with a lot of employees, a huge large firm, health, medical, or the insurance as true credible coverage. So just know that as long as you are working on true company benefits and you're turning 65, you really don't need to do anything. So those of you that are turning 65, still want to continue to work, don't stress. If you do want to enroll into Part A, you can. But if you're working for a large firm, Medicare is going to consider that true credible coverage. So you're not going to have any penalties. Can you delay Part A and sign up once you retire? Can you delay all of this and just do it once you retire or once you come off of your benefits? Absolutely. Okay, but there is a process, and that's why it's important to make sure you have this request of employment information form. And do not forget special enrollment period, write that at the top. I'm going to tell you why it's important. When you're coming on to Medicare for the first time, you don't have to undergo any medical questions. You can get on any supplemental insurance plan that you want without having to undergo medical questions, okay? If you decide to get on an Advantage plan, and the beauty of an Advantage plan is you don't have to answer medical questions, but if you come on to Medicare for the first time, get on an Advantage plan, and after about a year or 2 years, realize, hey, you know what? This is not really what I want. I want a supplemental plan. Then you have to answer medical questions and go through underwriting. And that's not any fun, because if you have health issues, then you're going to have to pay the premiums, and that's when they're going to rate you as far as how much they're going to charge you for your monthly premium. But if you're coming off of your company benefits, you qualify for a special enrollment period. So that's important for you to know, because there's a lot of folks that unfortunately do have health conditions or they want to stay with their doctors. So a special enrollment period qualifies you to get any Medicare supplement insurance plan without having to answer any medical questions. And that's the Medicare supplement insurance plan is really a great insurance program, I think, because it does give you the freedom of choice to go to any doctor that takes Medicare. So you don't have to worry about, oh my goodness, what if my doctor changes another plan? As long as your doctor is taking Medicare, you can use your supplemental insurance plan anywhere. Make sure you make copies. Make sure that you mail them into your local Social Security office. or fax them directly to the number we just gave you, the 1-833-914-2016. And I think that pretty much wraps it up, Ms. Daryan. If there's any questions that anyone may have, I'll be more than happy to answer that for y'all.
Yeah, we'll take a look real quick. It doesn't look like we have any comments right now, but I was wondering, when is there a specific time that it's best to start thinking about getting these documents together?
Here's what I would suggest, and that's a very good question, because if you are funding an HA, a health savings account, you need to stop funding your health savings account 6 months before you retire. Okay, otherwise you're going to pay penalty fees with the IRS. So my suggestion is you have a 7-month window when you're first turning 65 to enroll into Medicare. But what I suggest to a lot of folks that are turning 65 and want to go on to Medicare, as soon as, I would say, 3 months before your birthday, start looking into Medicare and start planning. If you have been laid off, okay, and you're thinking about staying on COBRA insurance, Medicare does not consider COBRA as true credible coverage. What I am going to suggest to y'all is if you are getting laid off and or you're retiring, you have an 8-month window to enroll into Medicare Part B without getting penalized. You have a 63-day window to enroll into Part D without getting penalized. But honestly, folks, as soon as you know you're going to retire, you're coming off of your benefits, you need to go ahead and get in contact with your agent and start moving along with this, because right now everything is delayed and you need your medical coverage. So don't wait for the 8 months. Do not get on COBRA if you're past 65 and you can get on Medicare. Medicare would be by far a much better alternative and even much more affordable. But definitely past 65, you must move on it if you're coming off of your company's benefits. So 8 months, 63 days, don't delay, get it done right away. If you are getting laid off and you're 63 and you're not eligible for Medicare, what I'm going to suggest for you is this: you need to shop the market for health insurance, because you can stay on your COBRA, but definitely shop the market for health insurance. There's also some short-term health insurance plans out there that will cover on a catastrophic basis that are much more affordable. So that's something that I could be able to help you and guide you on. But as far as waiting, once you retire or coming on to Medicare turning 65, move on it. Get it done now sooner than later, because you got 10,000 people, like I said, at the beginning of the segment, turning 65 each and every day. And right now, it's just, it's a mess. So it's going to be very, very hard for a lot of people, for the Social Security offices to catch up, I'm sure. And I know the Social Security offices are going to be really, really full once everything opens up. If you have a question, you're welcome to email me. I'm just a simple email away, info, I-N-F-O, @sylegacy.net. You're welcome to call me if you'd like as well. But I think that pretty much wraps it up, Daryan, as far as that. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much. That was really helpful. And I guess one last question, this is how we'll leave it. You talk about a lot about penalties, and what would you say the best way to avoid these penalties? Is it just being as prepared as possible?
Well, the penalty fees, what people just don't understand is that, if you're not proactive, if you're self-employed, most importantly, people that are self-employed, you need to get on to Medicare. And a lot of folks want to get on to Medicare if they're self-employed. But there's folks that will delay it, and they just will not, they'll procrastinate. With the penalty fees, Medicare penalty fees, you're looking at least 10% per year if you don't enroll into Part B. And then with the Part D, it's 1% per month. So that's a 20% penalty for the rest of your life. So if you have, let's say you delayed it 2 years, that's 20% penalty fee on Part B, and then another 24% penalty for your prescription drug plan. And that's a penalty fee that's never going to go away. So yes, definitely, you've got to be proactive. 3 months before you turn 65, you need to start figuring things out. And here's what I'm going to also tell y'all. Y'all are going to see a bunch of commercials on, oh, we got this plan. It's got this. We got all these benefits. We cover this. We cover that. You know, these are paid advertisements, and they're there for a reason, and that's to get you enrolled into their health insurance plan. So the best advice I can tell folks is work with an independent. Work with someone like myself, where we can shop the market, where we can sit down with you and we can talk to you and show you what your options are and what's available, what's good for you. Not so much for the company or for the agent, but what's good for you. So all the junk mail that you get, you're going to be extremely confused. You're not going to know one way from another. Or the phone calls. Phone calls, I'm not a fan of you answering a phone call and giving people information about Medicare over the phone unless it's an absolute legitimate company. But what I will tell you is this, just shop the market. And if there's a particular agent or someone that you're comfortable with, especially if they're local, if they're close to you and they're in the area, that makes it easier as well. Because if you ever have a question, you can pick up the phone and call them directly. Unlike going with someone who's advertising on a commercial. You know, you call the company who's advertising on a commercial and you may get an different agent every time you call. So that's not fun. And I'll tell you why it's not good advice to do that, because here's what I will tell you. The Medicare plans will change. Everything changes. And so once you think you got it all figured out, then something else comes up and something else changes. And so right now, with it just being crucial timing with just this whole COVID thing that's going on, you know, Americans are really starting to think about their health coverage. And this is going to be the time for you guys to be proactive and really know what's available for you, because as you get older and things start to change, I mean, if it was difficult for you to learn all of this and try to get this straightened out at 65, imagine when you're like 80, 85 years old. So it just becomes more stressful on the people. So just have yourself someone that you like and trust and that can work with you, and take it from there. That would be my best advice.
Thank you so much. That really did help. That clarified everything. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. I'm going to put up your contact information one more time. So if you guys do have some more questions, feel free to reach out to her there. We're going to say goodbye for now, but thank you again so much for sharing and helping us kind of navigate this somewhat dense and overwhelming topic.
Thank you so much for having me on your segment today. And I'll see you on May the 5th. Is that correct?
Yes, next week we'll be doing another segment, and this one's going to be on funerals and pre-planning and how to save yourself some money.
Yes.
So we'll see you next week for that. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And we really do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in today. We would love to hear from you guys, see what you guys are up to, how you guys are handling everything. If you guys need anything, or if you want to see a specific segment or information, just let us know. Feel free to send us an email at info@carepartnerstexas.org. We'd love to hear from you guys. And we'll be back very soon with some more Hot Topic Live segments. Again, if you guys have ideas for segments or information that you'd love to see, either comment, email, just let us know. We are really excited to be able to provide this helpful information for you guys. And we can't wait to see you guys in person very soon. Have